Hi everyone, my name is Swarnalatha Ashok. I'm a teaching faculty at the Carnegie Mellon University. Today I'm going to just talk about the API design. And when I actually bring up this topic of API design, I'm asked several questions. One of which is, what is the best way to design an API if the clients need to retrieve information from more than one resource? Actually, there are three most popular ways of designing the APIs. The RESTful APIs, the GraphQL, and the gRPC. Today, I'm just going to take the first two and give you a gist of what they are and how we can design the APIs to retrieve information from more than one resource. The RESTful APIs is designed around specific resources. So every resource will be designed as a single API, and there will be many operations like the create, retrieve, update, and delete operations. And the information can be retrieved using JSON or XML formats. These operations are typically mapped to the corresponding HTTP methods, as shown in this particular table. So therefore, if you were to retrieve information from more than one resource using the RESTful APIs, you will need to make multiple API calls. Each of these API calls will then hit one particular resource, and you have no choice but to retrieve all the information that is provided by that specific API. And the rest of the filtering of the information and combining them will have to be done at the client's end. That's not a good way of designing APIs that span across many resources. So therefore, then let's talk about GraphQL. GraphQL is a query language for APIs, just like query languages for a database. So therefore, you will need to define a schema just like you would do for a database. And then you can actually create queries for exactly the information that you want. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, you just need to make one call which spans across so many resources because you have defined the schema that spans across many resources. So that's the power of GraphQL APIs. Here is an example of retrieving information from our favorite store, the Best Buy. The Best Buy would probably keep all this information in their databases or through their APIs or in the cloud using the Lambda expressions. And you can then define the schema that spans across all of this by defining these types like customer, location, product, and category. And hey, look at the client's end. As a client application, you just need to write a query just like you would do for any database. You can see that I've just given you an example of the query, which is to get all customers who shop at a location called North Hills for the product called Dell laptop. You can see that this query spans across three different databases or APIs, which are provided at the server end. But you can retrieve the required information by just making one API call. So isn't that wonderful? Yeah? So this table actually summarizes the comparison between the GraphQL and REST APIs. As you can see, from the architectural perspective, GraphQL is driven by the clients, whereas the RESTful APIs is dictated by the server end. And therefore, you will have many endpoints for the RESTful APIs, which is according to how many resources you have. And whereas for the GraphQL, you just need to have one endpoint, and you just need to define the schema and types at the server end. Of course, both these APIs are going to give you all the operations that you want to perform on resources, which is the create, retrieve, update, and delete. But in addition to that, GraphQL also gives you what is called as a subscription, which you can learn later. Definitely in terms of performance and fetching the data, GraphQL definitely wins over RESTful APIs, especially if you were to span across many resources. So that's all I have for this little talk here. If you want to know further about the API design, we have a wonderful course at the Carnegie Mellon University. You can get more information at the description box by clicking the links over there. Thank you.